wasn't with me shooting in the gym. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
What's going on, folks?
Yes.
Welcome back to the No Hold Thoughts podcast. We're your host, I'm Ra.
It's Bra.
And on today's episode, we're going to get into the comments that a certain Fox Sports host made about the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, Dak Prescott. For those who don't know, Dak Prescott had an interview where he talked about suffering from anxiety and depression, and a certain host on Fox spoke on it.
You know this as well as better than I do. It's the ultimate leadership position in sports. Am I right about that? Mm-hmm. You are commanding an entire franchise. What's the roster now? Is it 53 still?
53, but yeah. I think they got like 15 practice squad guys.
Okay. But you're commanding a lot of young men and some older men. And they're all looking to you to be their CEO, to be in charge of the football team. Because of all that, I don't have sympathy for him going public with, I got depressed. I suffered depression early in COVID to the point that I couldn't even go work out. Look, he's the quarterback of America's team. And you know and I know, this sport that you play, it is dog eat dog. Mm-hmm. It is no compassion, no quarter given on the football field. If you reveal publicly any little weakness, it can affect your team's ability to believe in you in the toughest spots, and it definitely can encourage others on the other side to come after you.
So many things wrong with that. When you given the climate that we're currently in right now, he wants to make it about sports when a man, I mean, he is a sports figure, but he made a comment that had nothing to, well, I ain't gonna say nothing to do with sports. It had nothing to do with sports, but he said he couldn't work out in his given profession, but it really had nothing to do with sports, and he brought it back to sports. And it lends itself to what we talk about it was a fan-asked question about not dealing with mental health, and especially in the black community, especially black men. And stuff like this is the reason why. When you sit up there, he pretty much said he was weak without saying it. Because he said, you know, in the sport that you're in, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Any little thing they can use against you. This after you step off of that football field for 60 minutes, you got to be who you are for the rest of the day, the rest of the week. That's a little bit of time we get to see who they are.
Right.
And outside of that, he's a human being, and he just it was a poor choice of words. And like I said, he made it completely about sports, and it shows, like I said, when the climate we're in right now, there's the sports side of it, and then there's everything else.
Right.
Like we went without sports for a few months. I can't exactly remember. You know, it's all stopped like March 12th. I think that's when the NBA shut down, and then it all started back up. I can't even really tell you because I don't live and breathe sports like I used to. But you know, it was a needed adjustment of not having it. But when you're talking about life,
right,
sports, it's not even a comparison.
Right. He Skip put his foot in his mouth. First, I'm gonna say that I mean I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm gonna say that. Most people know I'm a Cowboy fan, but I'm also not about to fight nobody over if the Cowboys beat the Eagles or if the Eagles beat. I care less. So people is like they have this passion for these professional sports. Me personally, it's entertainment. It's no different than me listening to an album, rap, R&B, oldies. It's no different than that. Yeah, I mean, would I be upset if my team lose? Yes. I mean, because far as I'm just upset, like in that moment. But what Skip did was he was coming from a fan perspective. Nothing else. Skip Bayless came from a fan perspective. He went off of saying, this is what they would do. They will pretty much get after you, seeing your weakness. You cannot hide your weakness when you're going through depression. And so what that he came out openly? You know, that's part of dealing with your depression. Maybe that came from his whoever advised him or whatever. That will help him. Because he could have been said this stuff a long time ago. But he decided to do it right now. Skip is a Cowboys fan. Skip did not look at Dak Prescott as a human.
No, he did not.
Because he said, you know, it can bring the team down at this time. Bro, when somebody is going through depression, it's no longer talking about sports anymore. Skip, I thought that was selfish. And you lose a lot of brownie points. I mean, because at the same time, I'm going to say that, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I believe that Skip is not a racist. But he do say idiotic things.
Yeah,
all the time.
A lot of times.
And I don't know if he say that because he really believe it, or he say it because he just want to shake the room. Because sometimes people want to create controversy based off of just being just different, just having a different opinion. You know, he the type that somebody go high, he go low. He go off the radar when it comes to certain things. This one, he absolutely messed up. And he owed Dak Prescott an apology. And
he owes him one on air and face to face.
Because it don't count if you don't say it on air, because you did it on air. So you have to come back and fix it on air. But instead, Skip goes on, and not only he come back to pretty much he wanted to clean up what happened. So we're going to play that.
Some points I made yesterday on the show about Dak Prescott and the depression he discussed. As I strongly stated, I have great compassion for anyone suffering clinical depression, which is very real. If you are suffering from any form of depression, please seek help. And this is the final point, one I'm told was misconstrued by many. The only Dak depression I addressed on yesterday's show was from an interview he taped with Graham Benzinger. Dak said that depression happened soon after the pandemic hit, early in the quarantine. I said yesterday that if Dak needed help for pandemic depression, he should have sought counseling then. And again, if you are suffering from any form of depression, please seek help.
On that one, what the hell was he talking about? He's talking about pandemic depression, that depression. I wasn't talking about that depression. I was talking about a different depression. But he starts it off by saying, I have great compassion. Show it.
Yeah,
when you have great compassion, show it. We not about to sit up here and hear about any of our No Home Thoughts fans is going through depression, and we gonna make it about anything else except for them.
Right.
Oh, yo, bro, you all right? Are you okay? Yo, you want to hit somebody up? You want to talk about it? That's showing great compassion. He wanted to make it about sports, and then he goes off and saying seek help. Well, you need to seek help, and then on top of that, when it's people like you out there who's making light of the situation, because making light of it isn't always making fun of it.
Right.
It's sometimes making light of it is not showing the great compassion you supposedly have.
Right. That's true. I mean, that could have been his way that he was advised to handle his situation. This man said, now you talking about Dak Prescott, since he been in the NFL, he never did one thing wrong. Far as interviews, he handled every interview. Like the man seemed like, to be completely honest, he seemed unreal. Like you could never go back to an interview that Dak Prescott ever done. We could go back to Michael Jordan interviews, LeBron, and they could chop up things that they said. You can never go back to a Dak Prescott interview and say, why he just say that? Dak Prescott had every interview he ever had was on point. It was like the media told him exactly what to say. So him coming out could have been a form of dealing with it or trying to get over it.
That was one thing I didn't like what he said. He should have dealt with it then. You can't tell somebody how to deal with something.
Yeah, you
can't.
Man, listen, I don't
think there's a wrong way to deal with depression except for like suicide or something like that.
Right.
Like,
everybody.
If it take a week, if it take 2 days, like that's on him. You can't say, "Oh, well, you were depressed in March. You should have dealt with it in March."
See, but that's what happens when you think of football. He's thinking about, oh, it's going to blow the locker room up. Now the Cowboys is not going to win. That's what Skip did.
That's what he's thinking. Like
that's what he's thinking.
September's around the corner. You got to deal with this before.
Oh man, you gonna mess up our
Super Bowl.
Our Super Bowl run. We just got all these players. That's what Skip think. Oh man, you about to destroy our locker room. Talking about all this stuff. Come on, man. He never, not one interview, you can ever say that Dak Prescott said something wrong. This is Dak Prescott. He got a big contract signing a franchise tag. And of course, signing the franchise tag means at some point he's about to look at big money. He's going to be in the top 5 paid quarterbacks in the league. Why would you think he say that? You don't think that he may have had a conversation with his agent? I know 100% that he did that with his agent, whoever that he's dealing with on a personal level. I'm pretty sure like Jerry Jones or whoever that they deal with on the Cowboys. I think actually it is Grant Hill dad, Calvin Hill. He deal with a lot of the guys on the team, far as like just dealing with things outside of sports. But what Skip did was selfish. A lot of people call him for Skip job. I won't go as far as that, but
it ain't gonna happen anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely not gonna happen. Skip is a little too powerful on the sports note. You know what I mean? And even if Fox let him go,
he gonna get picked up.
Picked up. He have his own platform. Yeah. Like literally, like it. He could just do his, which he do. Like he do a lot of things, like write home or whatever. But you're an idiot for that, Skip. Like that was that wasn't good. That was.
And he never really addressed Dak Prescott the person. He just addressed him as the Cowboys quarterback.
The Cowboys quarterback.
He never addressed him as a person that he saw needed help.
That's crazy.
That's it.
All he thinking about is. I don't care. That's why I made it clear to you, like at the very beginning. I am a fan of the Cowboys. Once the Cowboys, if they win or lose, I'm happy. I'm going to call people up. I'm going to tease. But after that day, if the Cowboys win a Super Bowl, I don't care. I'm being honest. Because for one, it's not in my city. So it's not like I'm not going there. This is just, talking trash purposes. You know what I mean? But outside of that, it don't have anything to do with me. Like, if it was Philly, it's different because we in Philly. We're going to be a part of the parade. That's totally different. You know what I mean? You're going to be able to experience. I'm not going there. It's over once the Cowboys win a Super Bowl. It's not like they're going to march here in Philly. So it's just, you know what I mean?
They bet not.
Yeah, they bet not do no nonsense like that. But that's what Skip pretty much just did. He marched in Philadelphia based off what he just did. Because, and then that was an even dumber second part. Like, what are you talking about? He said, I show tons of compassion and, bruh, you did not.
You didn't.
You made it very clear about being the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. He should not have came out like that.
And the way you came off.
The way that you came off.
It got misconstrued somehow. Coming out and saying, listen, I don't even want to talk about sports when it comes to that subject matter. I want Dak Prescott to get help.
Right.
I want anybody with depression to get help.
Right.
I want him to be in the best mindset for himself, for his family, for everyone who looks up to him as a hero. That's how you apologize. Not that BS you try to put out there because, you really don't want to own up for your mistake.
Right.
You don't want to own up for him.
And the biggest thing the biggest thing of it all is that he really don't think he did nothing wrong.
That's the worst part.
Now, this don't have anything to do with white or black, but I mean, we in a tough time right now, and for him to do that, it can come off that way. But like I said again, I can say it again. I don't take Skip as a racist. I wouldn't say that he should be knocked off of off the sports network. But at the same time, he need to be disciplined. He need to give an apology. He might need to be suspended for maybe a week or so.
And just off of taking depression seriously. Just off of the fact of taking depression seriously, he should be sat down for a little bit.
Right.
Like Skip, I don't think you realize there are people really dealing with mental health issues in America, and it's not looked at as serious as it should be.
It wouldn't be a conversation if they didn't play for the Cowboys, or if it was a person that played for the Cowboys, as long as he didn't have like an important role on the Cowboys, he probably he wouldn't even say nothing. He wouldn't even got into it.
Mm-mm.
But since it's Dak Prescott here, quarterback, my thing is he handled everything thus far. So now that he came out and said whatever he said, why wouldn't he be able to handle it now? You talking about a man that said that, okay, Jerry Jones said, take this $30 million. And he said no. Dak Prescott said no, I want $40 million. When he said that, everybody said he out his damn mind.
And then
you start seeing Mahomes
got stupid money.
Deshaun Watson, and it was one more person. Or was it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we know them two off the top.
Yeah,
and
the important quarterbacks.
Yeah, definitely the important.
Russell already got his money. Goff already
Russell got his money.
Wentz already got his money.
Right, they already got their money. But when we thought about it, we thought he was crazy. Like, we was like, what, is you crazy? And then guess what happened? You see one quarterback get cut a check.
Got broken.
What he got, $50 million?
$500 million.
I'm saying a year. It's like a year. Pat Mahomes.
I forgot what it. I think it's something crazy guaranteed too. Like he's set.
Now if
he's so set, he bought into his childhood team in baseball. That's how set he is.
Yeah,
that's something.
If Dak Prescott, if they win the Super Bowl, he's going to get the same money, if not more.
If not more.
If not more, because now at this point, the cap go up and all that every year.
And the bar's been set higher.
And the bar been set higher. Like the quarterback is definitely, is on the up and up. So if that's the case, think about it. If he would have tore his ACL, he would have went from guaranteed $30 million to,
we'll see.
Pretty much.
We'll see.
He'd have been in the teens. Well, these days you get like minimum as a quarterback, like what, 15 to 20 million, something like that. He gambled on himself. He said, no, I'm not signing that. I'm going to go ahead and play this out. I'm betting on myself. The Cowboys didn't make the playoffs. So all this being said, obviously that this boy got his head on straight. When he said 40 million, we thought he was crazy. Somebody got 40 million. Well, 50 million. And then Deshaun Watson got his money too. So now it's right for Dak Prescott to get his money, because it was unheard of. We didn't think that it was even possible. We was in the low 30s, the mid 30s, and then Dak Prescott came out and said that. So all that being said, him doing that interview obviously was, good reason, good purpose. Skip, take a word of advice from No Holding Thoughts. You need to hold your damn thoughts and shut the hell up. Sometimes, I know you have the voice for sports, but that one, you just need to know Dak Prescott is a human. And that's it. Signing out.